Hi everyone, welcome to Spirit World Insights. I'm Jackie, and today my angels and guides would like to come together collectively to give a message. They asked me to pull a card for the theme from the Colette Baron Reid, the Crystal Spirit Oracle. I love this deck because I love crystals and stones. But so when I pulled the card, it is the Apache Tear card. So this is a translucent obsidian, and this crystal is fantastic for helping with loss and grief. So if that happens to be something that you are experiencing in your life at this time, then having this type of crystal with you is something that can help aid in the healing and recovery of bringing you back into your higher states of consciousness. So all right, just gonna channel what my guides have to say today about loss and grief. What a topic. What a unified topic that we all experience on this planet continuously. For some, day after day. For others, year after year. It is never an easy topic, for it is one that brings about uncomfortability, the onset of what we've been conditioned to think as weakness. Stepping into a space of vulnerability. And when we do that, it's as though you've lost control. This is a false belief that's been conditioned to humanity on this planet. And therefore, the way we think about true healing is said to be one from a position of power, of control. That could not be more false, further from the truth. There is great power in surrender. There is great power with standing in vulnerability. There's great power in standing in your own authenticity. For when you stand in this space of what you consider weakness, and you take on the position of surrender, it allows true healing to begin. It shows you what needs to heal, and then it's an allowing for the new opportunity, for the new awareness or the higher consciousness to actually step in and take its place. When it does this, it is a process. The human body is incredibly capable of doing and completing this process. But the human mind is incredibly powerful and capable of blocking it. Therefore, when you step into a state of surrender, it's like telling the mind, relax, have a seat, take a moment. And we step into the heart consciousness. And it begins the process of transforming anything that we considered a loss, disappointment, uncertainty. It brings it into the new awareness of what is yet to come. And so that transition begins. It's an amazing process, but it's not easy to go through. Because we are sentient beings, we feel our emotions. And again, it is not weakness to feel those emotions, it is surrender. When you feel these emotions, allowing yourself to feel them is a part of the process. This can be painful. It can be uncomfortable. However, it is the key to being able to move these emotions through the body and back to source, as opposed to storing them in the body where they can later become a symptom, a pain, a disease. So we highly encourage you that whatever it is that you are sensing, feeling, that is uncomfortable, unfamiliar, or unknown, to allow those thoughts, feelings, and emotions to surface, to be felt, and to be processed. Because in the end, when you do, there is only beauty, joy, newness as an outcome. It is so important as humans on this planet to process the energies of emotion. When it is stuffed down, ignored, numbed, it does not have the full capacity to process. And when we say we process it, we are transforming, integrating, or alchemizing that energy back to love. We say back to source, back to creator. All the same. Back to love. For if you store it, numb it, stuff it down, then the body holds on to it. It places it into specific chakras according to maybe the origin of where it came from. And it does transition over long periods of time into things that are displeasing for the human body. So see that when you process an emotion in the moment that it's happening, it doesn't give it time to store. This is a great benefit to the body. It also allows the heart-mind to come together in this process to create the freedom that you're looking for. Remember that every single thing that happens that you sense as being negative or a disappointment, something that causes loss or grief, it is only showing you what needs to be healed. It is showing you something within yourself that is ready to be processed and healed back to love. So instead of ignoring it, surrender to it. Give it the permission, the time that it takes to process that energy. You might be surprised that it doesn't take as long as you think it will. For when you sit down and you sit with your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions, you allow them to come up and to be surfaced. And then you just merely ask them to process back to love. You hold that space. You separate it from yourself instead of taking ownership of it. And then you release it back to love. There is beauty. There is contentment. There is peace on the other side of that. So, it's a great message. It's definitely a great message that we all need to hear, because we're all dealing with loss and grief. Sometimes on a daily basis, right? But allowing it to process, to surface, is definitely, I can attest to that. Over the past 3 years, especially going through emotional purges and things like that for cleansing, definitely, because when you go later into emotional purges, it can be long, it can be painful, it's really, and so, oh God, okay, so let me just say this. I have done sessions where I'm helping people go through an emotional purge, and I've had my own a couple years ago, and it's so incredibly painful, because the body is, it's, oh my God, we are all about emotion, and that we are water element people that process things through the whole body. Most of our body is made of water, and so the emotions really can be stored anywhere. And when you go to pull all those things out, it doesn't feel good. And that might not be that it's like pain. Pain is broad, but it's let's say it's uncomfortable. And what I learned when I went through mine 2 years ago was oh my God, I don't ever want to have to do that again. How can I avoid that? And my guides were by processing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions in the moment. Don't give them time to store, because when they store, you're going to have to purge them later at some point. So can definitely attest to that. And I hope that this message today gives you guys the confidence and the clarity about what your thoughts, feelings, and emotions can actually do, and that when we are pulling them up, it's in order to get them to process, so that we can move forward and get back to who we really want to be that day. It's all about letting yourself experience it. And again, like my guide said, it's not looking at it as though it's something, nothing wrong with you. It's surrendering to it. It's not a weakness. It's something that is ready to be processed, and it's good for it to process, because it's going to help you become the best version of yourself that you can. It's always pointing you into a direction of learning too. Very powerful tool. So, all right, I hope this message helps today. Talk to you next week.